All right, we have the Chicago Bears at home against the Minnesota Vikings. The Vikings played the awful Titans, and they still, I know it was in Tennessee, but they let the Titans hang around there for a little too long for my liking. And Sam Darnold looks like Sam Darnold the old. He cannot play in cold weather. He plays for the New York Jets, and that's just an awful place to play. He looked good at the beginning of the year, and as it got colder, he just falls apart. That's what he seems to be doing. Luckily, they have Brian Flores as their defense coordinator, and he is the main reason this team is staying afloat. And if they happen to give Flores another head coaching job in this league, um, I hope the Vikings can find someone to be their defense coordinator because he is the reason they're winning these games with the style of defense he has his players play. And it helps because with a lot of the special blitzes they do, even if you have some bad cornerbacks or safeties, they do not give or they don't give the other team's offense enough time to sit back there and wait for their guys to get open against their horrible cornerbacks, So it doesn't matter. He was the same way in the Dolphins. Look how bad the Dolphins are on defense without him. So when he was a head coach there, he was the main play caller for the defense still, kind of like the Chicago Bears' coach. Ever since he took over for that defense halfway through last year, it's one of the best in the league. But the spread is 3.5 for the Bears, and the Vikings we have 3.5. That's at DraftKings currently. Points per game on offense is 23.8 the last 4 games. Defense is pretty good, 18.3, but they're losing these close games because that offense just can't score enough points every game. So 23.3 for the Vikings on offense, and their defense is giving up more, but a lot of that has to do with being fatigued because the Vikings can just not score. But if we look at passing yards per game, only 199 for the Bears. That is below average a lot. 218.7 is currently the average in the league. They're giving up 208 though, which is one of the better defenses. And Vikings struggle a little there, 226. And the offense is doing 227 for the Vikings. Passing yards per attempt is 7.3 for the Bears, but they're giving up 7.1 on the defensive side, which is above average defense there. 7.6 for the Vikings, which is just below average for the Vikings defense. Rushing yards per attempt, the Vikings, one of the better ones in the league. Definitely a top 10 defense against the run. They're only giving up 3.7. The Bears are giving up 5.3, though, and that's way above average. So if the Vikings can run the ball at all with these zone runs, then that should help them. But it is in Chicago. It will be chilly. And as I said about Sam Darnold, he kind of crumbles in that cold weather. I do not mind that 3.5 spread, obviously. Points per play, 2.4 on offense for the Bears, 2.2 on defense, 2.6 on the Vikings on offense, which is almost top 10. 2.6 on defense, though just below average, and uh, the points per play for the Bears, that defense, is above average defense. Let's just look at expected points instead of total expected points right now. We got 4.6 for the Bears offense, and that is above average. Okay, the average currently in the last 4 is 3.6 in the league, but the top 10 is 7.8. So they're definitely not a top 10 team, but they're above average. The Vikings, now let's look at Vikings offense, 1.4. Definitely above or below average for the Vikings, okay? But the defense for the Bears, 1.7, which is really, really good defense. And The Vikings are even better with a 1 point, no, worse, 1.2. You want a higher number. The negative number is obviously bad for both these, and they're both above. So the normal expected points. So expected points, here's what it is. It's 0 is what you should have if the game went the way it went. But as games. So if you have a better defense or offense, it's going to be above the 0. So you want a higher number. So that 4.6 for Bears offense is really good. And let's look at total expected points. This is everything: special teams, defense, offense. And that is 3.9 the last 4 games for the Bears and negative 0.1 for the Vikings. The Bears are playing really well. They just can't close these close games out. But that makes it a 4-point spread towards the Bears. And if you go by that, they're the home team also, so that would be a bet if you choose to do so. Let's scroll over to your game cards. That's -4 spread, basically the same thing as total expected points. And this is simulation offense and defense. A lot of green for the Vikings though, which passing yards, attempt, rushing yards per attempt, yards per attempt. But the problem is their turnovers, way too many turnovers for the Vikings this year. As I said, Sam Darnold is starting to look like his old self. But they always have a chance, but they are on the road again. And the Bears, I think, will cover this. I wouldn't even mind putting the Bears team in it for a teaser as one of my legs, because and then it would be 9.5, and they should be able to cover that, I would hope, if the simulations and total expected points the last 4 games are correct. Now, if you choose to bet on this game, good luck. My name is Jordy. You've been watching Betman Sports Betting, and I'll see you in the next video.